A lot of Hall of Famers in the history of these two franchises. It's 45 here on the banks of Lake Michigan. But that wind chill is going to make it very chilly today, into the 30s with a chance of rain, as you can see. The Chiefs on Sunday night lost at Arrowhead to the Pittsburgh Steelers. Todd Haley and his team losing 13-9. Haley, a former wide receiver coach with the Chicago Bears. Lovie Smith and his Bears went west last week, took on the Oakland Raiders and lost in Haney's first NFL start, 25-20. 8th year he now is in Chicago. The flip of the coin won by the Chiefs. Robbie Gould will be kicking off for the Chicago Bears. And deep back for Kansas City will be Javier Arenas, a terrific punt returner, a good kickoff returner. We'll see what he does with this. The wind is all over the place, Solomon, here inside Soldier Field. It's hard really to get a good barometer on it.
Yeah, it's going to affect the way both backup quarterbacks are able to execute in the passing game.
Oh, what a great tackle made by Patrick Trahan, who is just called up from the practice squad. 17-yard return. Tyler Palko makes his 3rd consecutive start for the injured Matt Castle. On the line, Ryan Lilja, suffering from a concussion, will start today at left guard. And wide receiver Dwayne Bowe is closing in on another 1,000-yard receiving season. In the backfield, Kansas City will go with Thomas Jones on 1st and 10, the ex-Chicago Bear. Tripped up, brought down. Urlacher had a hand on it, but really he just tripped after a gain of 2, and he's up to the 20-yard line. Julius Peppers is on that line. He is the NFC Defensive Player of the Month of November. Brian Urlacher leads a strong Chicago linebacking crew. And in the secondary, the elder statesman is Charles Tillman. It is 2nd down and 8. Jones, there's a hole, and Jones, who then was tripped up as he went through by Major Wright, picks up 6, tumbles ahead to about the 26-yard line.
Got to use the motivation that Thomas Jones comes into this game with, and there's Major Wright starting up at that high safety position, coming down in the box to cut the legs out from up under Thomas Jones. If you have to tackle him in the open field for 4 quarters, sooner or later you're going to miss. He's going to break one for this offense.
On 3rd down and 2, Palko being chased by Peppers. Hits Bowe for a 1st down. Grabbed by Tillman. Racing out of bounds. 14-yard catch and run to the 39.
This is what Tyler Palko talked to us about last night. Said he wanted to get out of the pocket, try to use his athleticism to buy more time. Remember, this is an offense and a quarterback who's always cognizant of where Julius Peppers is going to be. You rotate and roll out away from Peppers, create the easy throw to Dwayne Bowe.
He's a confident kid, isn't he, this Palko?
He seems very confident.
What is that?
Battle in the backfield on 1st down and 10. McClain trying to throw a block. And down he goes. Hit on the play by Jennings among a couple. Picks up 3, and he's out to the 43-yard line of Kansas City.
Yeah, Kevin, more on Tyler Palko. You have to wonder, because Todd Haley gave the backup quarterback, Kyle Orton, 40% of the snaps with the #1 offense this week to help him prepare. So if you're Tyler Palko, you have to get off to a fast start, and you can't look over your shoulder. You got to come out, you got to play well. We'll see if that served as a motivation factor or as a detractor to what he has to do early in the game.
It's 2nd down and 7. Here goes Jones, wrapped up at the line, taken down, and hit initially on the play by Tonina, and it's a loss of a yard in Okoye.
Well, take a look at this up and down performance in terms of touchdowns to wins. Only 3 touchdowns scored in their first 3 games. They got off to that 0-3 start. Then a 4-0 run in October where the offense scored 11 touchdowns. As we said, in the last 4 games during this 4-game losing streak, Todd Haley's offense scoring only 1 touchdown during that span.
The cluster is in. Corey Graham is the 5th defensive back. DJ Moore is out again today for Chicago. 3rd and 10. Trusted. Hit on the play. Beautiful defensive play by defensive back.
To look, but they swarm and they tackle. Look at the speed and reaction at the quarterback position on the perimeter. Tim Jennings is a much improved corner, and now here's their most potent weapon on the Chicago Bears team.
Devin Hester is back. Colt quick to punt. There's so many different ways you can go at it. He's going to signal for the fair catch. It was a 4-second hang time, but the key is not, they told us last night, not to have a long Chiefs just had it, 6 plays and punt. Hester was back there with a fair catch, 18-yard line, 1st and 10 for the Chicago Bears. Caleb Haney. He's out of Colorado State in his 4th year. Matt Forte. Derek Johnson among the couple that got a hand on him. It's a gain of 5, and he's up to the 23-yard line. Haney makes his 2nd career start for the injured Jay Cutler today.
And here's a guy that came in for Jay Cutler in the NFC Championship game against the Green Bay Packers. Had a couple of touchdown passes in that game, and everyone that we talked to at the Bears points to that.
Edward Williams tried to get a block, and then he was brought down. McGraw hit him 2nd, and he is thrown for no gain on the play. On the line, Lance Lewis has been playing terrific right tackle for the Chicago Bears. And running back Matt Forte, as we mentioned before, with some very lofty numbers, and doing it through the air and on the ground.
And now a favorable 3rd down and 3rd and 5, and now if you drop him back and you're Caleb Haney, what you want to do is get rid of the ball quick. Look for him to get it over to Matt Forte and try to take advantage of his matchup.
Chiefs in the nickel on 3rd and 5. Haney, incomplete. 2 flags were thrown. They were going for Johnny Knox, who was covered across the way by Brandon Carr. Knox had a big game with a lot of yards last week in Oakland.
Holding, offense, number 73. That penalty is declined. 4th down.
3 and out. That is the left tackle, Jamarcus Webb.
Jamarcus Webb going up against Tamba Hali. Beats him real quick right there. See the hold right there? Haney, sensed the pressure, started to move to his right. But Webb was holding Tamba Hali. Already 7 sacks so far this year. By far the most on the team.
Punter. They're 6 in the league. And setting up a bad punt here, though. Bad punt here. It took a bounce. It may have hit a Kansas City Chief player. They say the Chiefs got the ball. 34-yard punt. Oh, wait, now they reverse the call. They reverse the call.
It was such a bad punt, Kevin, that Javier Arenas, who was back deep, was telling everyone to get back. But I don't think they ever heard him. See, he's waving everyone off, but they're so far away they can't move. And I think it's McGraw who's in the area.
Or Jaleel Brown, one of the two.
Sabby Piscatelli was actually number 42, and I believe it was him who the ball hit. You're right, it could have been Brown as well.
Brown is a rookie out of Colorado. Not a good way for Todd Haley's team to start. They're going to throw the challenge flag, as you can see, and they'll take a look at it.
Yeah, you want to be sure. You want to be sure. If it did not hit one of the Kansas City Chiefs players, then they would retain possession of the ball.
Especially after the Chiefs had forced a 3 and out of Chicago's first offensive possession.
You know, with both teams playing with backup quarterbacks, special teams is going to play a huge role in today's game. Special teams and defense. You have to wonder, did it hit Sabby Piscatelli, number 42? They were waving him off. Not so sure, but do we have clear visual evidence that it did not? Remember, it was ruled that it did touch one of the Kansas City Chiefs players, recovered by the Chicago Bears. There's Javier Arenas waving him off. Right there, it may have touched, you're right, Jaleel Brown, number 30. It was right around his feet.
Piscatelli did not touch the ball. If anyone was guilty, it was that kid right there, 4th-round pick, a 2-year starter at Colorado, Jaleel Brown. And I think he is saying that he did not touch the ball. Let's see what Jerome Boger's crew comes up with here.
After reviewing with the coaching staff, Kansas City is not challenging the rule on the field. It's first down, Chicago.
Up in the Chiefs coaching booth, and to the right over here next to us, they've got these huge HD screens, and so they
initially, Todd Haley wanted to take a look at it, but then after maybe conferencing with some of his own staff and the officiating crew, decided to pick up the red flag. Now Lovie Smith has something to say to Jerome Boger's crew.
So turnover for the Chiefs. One more look if we can.
You know, I think Lovie, okay, let's see, did it hit? I think Lovie Smith may say, well,
yeah,
you gave them time. You're giving them a lot of time. Why do we stop play? Either he's challenging it or not.
Zachary Bowman is 35. He got the ball, and the Bears have got it. The takeaway for Chicago, now plus 10 this season. It's 1st and 10 from the Kansas City 43. Matt Forte through a thicket of defenders. That's a gain of 3. He's down to the 39-yard line. Let's take a look at that Kansas City defense. Kelly Gregg has provided a solid presence on that Kansas City defensive line. Tom Bahali will be counted on today to provide pressure on the inexperienced Haney. And cornerback Brandon Flowers is tied for 5th in the NFL with an interception. 2nd down, 6 to go from the Kansas City 39. Daniels is out there as an extra defensive back. Here comes the pressure from Brown. That's Johnny Knox. And Travis Daniels makes the stop. Just a gain of 2 down to the Kansas City 37-yard line of the catch and run by Knox.
You have to like the poise of Caleb Haney on that play as pressure poured in on him. Pressure right in his face. Look at him move, buy a little more time, get rid of the ball. Found a man open in Johnny Knox. And if you're the Bears, you got to take advantage of this possession because the Kansas City Chiefs defense, they've allowed 10 touchdown drives under 50 yards. That's an NFL high. So when they give up possession of the ball in their own territory, usually equates to a touchdown for their opponent.
6 defensive backs, 3rd down and 4 for Chicago via a Kansas City fumble on a punt. Officially, that's what it's ruled. Knox again. Great pursuit by Brandon Flowers. It's a gain of 3, shy of the first down by a couple of yards. 4th down.
These cornerbacks, Brandon Flowers, Brandon Carr, boy, are they good. Watch him close on this tackle. There's no yards after catch there for Johnny Knox, who's very fast. That ball came out. He's able to recover it. You could see
decided to go for it on 4th down and a long one. Still the 6 defensive backs for the Chiefs. Incomplete. Earl Bennett. Coverage on the play by Brandon Carr on downs. Chicago cannot cash in on good beginning field possession. Chiefs will get it. 7:57 in the first. We're back in Chicago. The Chiefs have the ball. They'll have a couple of tight ends here after the on-downs turnover by the Chicago Bears. 4 and out for Chicago. From the 35, Tyler Palko, 1st and 10. Battle with the block. Here comes Peppers. Nice maneuvering there by Palko. And it's caught on the near side. Grabbed by LaRon McClain. He picks up 3. Roach knocks him out of bounds at the 37.
Kevin, let's go back to the 4th and 1 play. Here's Earl Bennett. He'll come down in here, but then right back out where it should be an easy completion for Tyler Palko. Take a look at this. See, he goes in, and then see him coming right back out. This ball he's wide open there. That ball should be completed for 1st down.
On 2nd down and 7, this is Jackie Battle. Hit initially on the play by Major Wright. It's a gain of 5. He's to the 42 as we take you to New York and James Brown.
Kevin, a good start for the Skins.
It is a good start. First series of the game, they go 8 plays, 82 yards. Roy Halou, 2-yard touchdown run. 7-0 Redskins early in the first quarter.
Jets play 3 games in 4 weeks against the NFC East. Let's take it back to Kevin Harlan and Solomon Wilcox.
Roy Halou from Nebraska.
He's a really good player, Kevin. I think they found themselves someone with Roy Halou.
Here, 3rd down and 3. McCluster was in. Good block by Lilja. They've gone. It was almost picked up by Tillman. Underthrown to Bowe. It's 3 and out for the Chiefs.
You see Peanut Tillman doing those 10 push-ups they talked about. This team has a goal of getting 3 turnovers defensively, 3 takeaways per game. Now, this is just excellent recovery. That's a great play by Charles Peanut Tillman. He feels as though he should have had the interception. The dropped interception is why he's going to give you 10 push-ups after the play.
Nestor is back. Last time he returned a Colquitt punt for a touchdown was back in 2007. With the Aussie rules punt. And that hit a player and down at the 5. 53-yard punt. Maroon at the 5 will be the Chicago Bears.
As we return to Soldier Field, take a look at some of the best return men in the history of the NFL. Brian Mitchell with the Redskins, one of the best ever with 19,000 return yards. Dante Hall was the X factor with the Kansas City Chiefs with 12 returns. And how about the Kansas Comet, the great Hall of Famer Gale Sayers, and Devin Hester, 17 returns per touchdowns. It's the most all-time in NFL history, and he's going to add to that record. He's running as if he's on his way to camp.
I think he is. 1st down and 10 from the 5. Matt Forte. And a gain of 3 as he takes it inside. Dorsey was among a couple to get a hand on him, and he's out to about the 7-yard line for Chicago.
Devin Hester, and he has put up eye-popping numbers. Look at that, 17 combined returns in terms of kickoff returns, punt returns, the most in NFL history. And he's going to add to that total before it's all said and done. Over the last 2 weeks, he's been exclusively a return guy. Today, he's back at his wide receiver position.
Because he's had some injuries. You're right, 2nd down and 7. Nice hit right there. Derek Johnson having a terrific season. The leading tackler stops Forte. Forte is down at the 7-yard line.
Wow, they could ill afford to lose him. He's holding his right knee. This is not good. Matt Spaeth had him blocked, and then Johnson just comes right off the block. Watch him come off this block here. Number 89 is supposed to seal the block, but he's able to get underneath and cut the legs out from up under Matt Forte.
Almost looked like his cleat caught in the very heavy brand new grass of the middle of the field. And maybe a hyperextension. Let's see.
Caught him on the right knee, right there. The fact is that his weight was coming off the leg. Usually can save you, but this doesn't look good at all. We hope he can be okay. He is a valuable part of the Chicago Bears offense.
There's an injury timeout and 6 to play in the 1st. Matt Forte walked off under his own power. They're going to take a look at that right knee. Marion Barber will take his place. Barber had his best game last week since 2009 in his running at Oakland. 3rd down and 7. Haney chased by Daniels and incomplete. Travis Daniels got him on the outside. A flag is down. Tamba Hali also was right there. And they want a safety.
If it's holding in the end zone, they will signal a safety. There's Todd Haley stating the case. Yep. But they're going to
at the 1.
They're going to say he was at the 1.
Oh, you know, I don't know.
He was deep in the end zone, was he not, Kevin? Caleb Haney, you saw the athleticism of him being able to flee. They tried to max protect it, but still couldn't keep the flood of defenders from coming
in the field of play. Offense, number 69. That penalty is declined.
Take a look. Where's Caleb Haney?
Down.
He's in the end zone now. There's the holding there. Why, he's deep in the end zone. They said he was in the field of play. He looked like he was deep in the end zone to me, Kevin.
Yeah, well, first of all, there's no number 69 for the Chicago Bears. That's number 1.
Wow.
Number 2, I think it's probably on the right tackle, Lance Lewis. So here comes the punt. Another one. Adam Podlish. And Javier Arenas will circle under this at about the 38-yard line. Greenwood with the block. There he goes, and the punter gets him. But look where the Chiefs will start it. At the 36 and a late flag thrown across the way on a 25-yard return. That is the longest punt return allowed by the Chicago Bears this year.
Well, the Bears offense struggling right now. They've had 10 plays on offense, 0 first downs.
Illegal block in the back. Receiving team. 10-yard penalty from the spot of foul. Kansas City keeps the ball. First down. Time.
How about a number? 5:24 to play in the first. They're still working on Matt Forte, who means so much to Chicago. Chiefs have had a couple of miscues on special teams. They muffed with a fumble on a punt return earlier in the game. They just had a penalty, wipes out a 25-yard return. The ball was caught at the 38. They go back to the 28. It is a 1st and 10. Palco is still in. Thomas Jones in the backfield. Forte, we have just been told, for Chicago out for the rest of the game. Thomas Jones. And hit by Major Wright. It is a gain of 4. He's up to the 32-yard line. Introducing NFL Magazine, the new official monthly magazine of the National Football League. Subscribe today at NFL.com/magazine. 2nd down and 6.
It's now up to Tyler Palco to get this offense going. And you have to always be cognizant of where Julius Peppers is. He's moving up and down that line of scrimmage. Not going to always be in the same spot.
Terrence Copper was in motion. Donahue was putting pressure, and that was the 2nd catch of the season for Terrence Copper, who puts up a forearm to work his way in front of his own bench to the 41. That is a catch and run of 9. Tillman knocked him out of bounds.
Watch the misdirection play. They fake the run one way, bootleg out to the other side. By getting Palco on the edge of the defense, he has more clarity, better vision downfield to find his intended receiver. And boy, did he finish off that run to Terrence Copper against Peanut Tillman.
Idle is in, 1st and 10. Play action. Peppers was blocked way high for the intended receiver, Steve Preston, deep in the secondary. Major Wright was right there.
Peppers wrecked the play.
Yeah.
He lined up at left defensive end on the previous play there. He lined up at right defensive end.
Holding. Offense. Number 76. 10-yard penalty. Replay. First down.
You said at the top of the broadcast they were going to move Peppers from side to side.
Watch him coming off the right end against Brandon Albert. Watch him underneath immediately. And if you're Brandon Albert, all you can do is hold him, because Tyler Palco would have been creamed by Julius Peppers. His athleticism and his size makes him an unstoppable force along that defensive line.
He played a great game last week for the Bears out in Oakland. Here is a 1st and 20 for the Chiefs. Again they come through the middle. Here comes Henry Melton. A rising player on this defensive line. That is his 6th sack of the season, lost to 10.
This defensive line's one of the best in football, right in the face of Palco. Before he can even finish the handoff, Henry Melton's on top of him. And it is the 2 interior defensive tackles in Henry Melton and Amobe Okoye that allows Julius Peppers to get the one-on-one opportunities to the outside. Who do you double team now, Kevin, along this defensive line? Kyle Orton wants to play, but is he sure he wants to play against this defensive line?
2nd down and 30. Dexter McCluster. He got a block from Beck, and then he is gang tackled on the play. Chased down by linebacker Lance Briggs. It is a gain of 9 as we take you to New York and James.
Tennessee answering back the Buffalo score.
Well, Chris Johnson following up last week's impressive performance. Here you go, 48 yards, TD run right through the right side of the Buffalo defense. He goes all the way for the touchdown. Tennessee leads the Buffalo Bills 10-7.
CJ has 64 yards on the ground thus far. Back to Kevin Harlan. Solomon Wilcots.
You know, it was interesting with the change of quarterback in Houston, with Tennessee right in back of the Texans. That's going to be a fight to the finish. And
Mike Munchak has promised that Chris Johnson will top 1,000 yards rushing this season.
Oh, here they come again. Brought down by Israel Adonijah. Loss of 8, another sack. back to the 23. Second sack registered by that Bear defense today.
Lovie Smith said that Israel Donahue needed to up his game, needed to become more of a force. They tried to double team him and try to get some help from Dexter McCluster, the running back. So between he and the tackle, they couldn't keep Israel Donahue from getting the sack.
Cole quick to punt. Hester is back. Rush comes on. Hester again has to signal for a fair catch. Look out! Jaleel Brown, he's out there. You better be careful. Hit him the last time, almost got him that time. The rookie has to have that presence on the field. That was a 37-yard punt, 2:16 of the first. Tonight on CBS, has Team NFL gone native? 4 teams remain with only 2 episodes to go. An all-new Amazing Race. That's tonight only on CBS. And now we have a race to the locker room. We've seen Matt Forte get knocked out. And right now, that is a live picture of Julius Peppers walking to the Chicago locker room. When we get word, you'll get word on his status.
I had to make the Chiefs' job a little bit easier at the quarterback position in the absence of Julius Peppers.
Barber in the backfield, first down and 10 from the 41 after the Kansas City punt. Lewis with the block at the right tackle. Deflected, incomplete. Leaping high, Justin Houston ricochets that ball astride.
Right now, Caleb Haney just has to settle down in the pocket. I mean, he's been under pressure. He's used his athleticism to get out of the pocket. You get the sense that in the pocket, he's not as comfortable as when he gets out on the edge. Right now, he's only completed 2 of 6 pass attempts for 4 yards in the game. We already showed you on that 4th and 1 play, he had Earl Bennett open and should have completed it for a first down.
Chiefs are 6 defensive backs, second down and 10. Marion Barber, ex-Dallas Cowboy, corkscrewing his way to the 45-yard line. Got tripped over his own blocker on the play on a gain of 4.
Marion Barber now comes in for Matt Forte. He was already starting to make his presence felt in the second half of the season. You mentioned he had a really good game last week against the Oakland Raiders. They were going to carve up more for him as he comes in his first season with the Chicago Bears, and now he's going to be asked to really carry a huge load in today's game.
Haney on third down and 6. Great knockaway that time by Travis Daniels. He's played with Miami, where he was a high pick. Cleveland, third year with the Chiefs. 3 and out. Bears have got a punt.
Dane Sanzenbacher coming across the middle, and look at the play there. Daniels able to knife in underneath and get a hand on that ball. I think the ball was placed very well out in front of Sanzenbacher. Just have to credit the defense for knifing in and making a play.
Romeo Crennel has done a nice job. They faced adversity very well on that defense for the Chiefs.
And you have to love this secondary. You saw him play very well in the game against the Pittsburgh Steelers. If you can cover that group of receivers, you can cover most.
Hodlish with another punt. Arenas. Oh, hit by Bowman. How about the special teams coverage of the Chicago Bears?
Now they're throwing a flag.
Yep.
You can't hit anyone anymore.
No, there's a 39-yard punt, and you saw a minimal return. But Bowman was on that play very quickly. That's the third, by the way. Third 3 and out for the Chicago Bears. The other one, there was 4 non-downs. They lost it.
Interference with the opportunity to catch a kick. Kicking team, number 21. 15-yard penalty, first down.
Now, in my mind, he did give him, look, he caught it, and then he hit him. Catch, hit. Now, he was there a little early. I will give him that. He almost there too early. Look at this. Simultaneously. And Javier Arenas, I don't know how he held onto the ball, Kevin.
I don't either.
Because Bowman, I don't know that you can expect him to do anything more than what he did. He's there to come and deliver a blow.
Rodney Hudson is now the new left guard. Lil just started, played a couple series. He's now gone. Thomas Jones hit by Lance Briggs. That's a gain of 4. He's up to the 35-yard line for the Kansas City Chiefs.
Oh, Tyler Palko now with decent field position. This Kansas City Chiefs offense, and Julius Peppers not on the field. You better get something going. Look at Kyle Orton checking the band on his wrist. And you get the sense that if Palko doesn't get this off
2nd down and 6. Thomas Jones, right, chasing him out of bounds across the way. And a gain of 7 on the play. He's knocked out of bounds at the 42-yard line of Kansas City.
Brian Urlacher said this is the first time in his career he had a chance to play against Thomas Jones. Remember, Thomas Jones spent 3 seasons here with the Chicago Bears as a teammate of Brian Urlacher. Said they went up against him every day in practice, and everyone to a man has tremendous respect for Thomas Jones. Lovie Smith talked about it. Brian Urlacher talked about it. They know what they're up against facing Thomas Jones.
Battle is in. And they knock him down. Looked like from the secondary. Major Wright was there. By the way, taking the place, no gain on the play. Taking the place of Peppers is the 3rd defensive end, Chauncey Davis. And that has been a real story here in Chicago for the Bears defense. Who that 3rd defensive end would be. Davis now takes the place of Peppers, but Peppers is back on the Chicago sideline. We have no score at the end of one from Soldier Field. As we come back from commercial, start the 2nd quarter. Chiefs have the ball, 2nd and 10, and a new quarterback, Kyle Orton, has come in the game. Picked up last week and active against the Steelers on Sunday night. First snap as a Chiefs quarterback right here. 54. In his 7th season out of Purdue, waived by the Broncos. 2nd and 10, flea flicker. Orton hit as he throws, underthrown. The pressure came up the middle. Owen Orton may be hurt. He is. He's down. Hurt his thumb or finger. Major Wright came right up the middle. Back to Palco they go.
It's all about pressure on the quarterback. We've seen plenty of it. And look at this. Right in the face of Orton there is Major Wright. And there's the whack to the index finger on that throwing hand. He comes up saying, uh-oh, this isn't good.
Look at it, looks crooked.
Yes. Does not look good at all. This is the 4th offensive possession in the game.
Oh my gosh.
For the Kansas City Chiefs. Palco is going to call a timeout. And that's the 2nd quarterback injured so far this year for the Chiefs.
Dislocated finger. Working on Kyle Orton across the way. Looked like his index finger hit the helmet of Major Wright, who is coming right up the middle. Now Jeremy Horn will be in the backfield for Tyler Palco on a 3rd down and 10. Oh, Peppers drills him. That's an incomplete pass. They wrote an incomplete pass. How about that? Peppers leaves, comes back in, disrupts the play. The Chiefs will have to punt.
This Bears defense is all over it. Let's look at this play. Look at Peppers. He peels off. He knows the ball is going to be thrown out to the back. Wow. He separated the receiver from the ball in a hurry. Just a smart play by Julius Peppers.
This will be the 8th punt of the game coming up right now. Colquitt will send it to Hester. From the 7. Devin Hester brought down by the punter. Or at least slowed up by the punter. 44-yard return. The Bears near midfield. 29 seconds gone in the 2nd. Chilly day, winds over 20 miles an hour. That's a look at the 2 quarterback right there for Kansas City.
Take a look at the woeful numbers in the 1st quarter today by both offenses. Only 3 first downs, 6 punts.
Matt Forte is out for the day. Haney on 1st and 10. Looking for Kellen Davis, the tight end. Did he scoop it in? They say he did. It's a gain of 12 to the 38. It's a first down. For the Chicago Bears, we'd like to take this chance to apologize for some crackling on our audio today as we work to get it fixed here at CBS.
Let's see if there is a catch. I believe he caught it. There was a lot of Chiefs players waving it off.
Yep, they just waved it off on the. They just waved it off on the field after saying it was a reception by the tight end Davis.
Kellen Davis is begging them to take a look at it. He was saying, "Coach, I caught it." I thought he had caught it. I didn't see the ball hit the ground. Watch this. Watch him get both arms underneath it. See there? Is that a catch? Now the ball doesn't move. Look at that. That's a catch. Kellen Davis, he's one of those young guys. He thinks he caught it. He told the coaches he caught it. But sometimes you got to sell it a little bit to Lovie Smith.
Chicago is challenging the rule on the field of an incomplete pass.
We'll take a break. 14-10 to play here at Soldier Field in the second quarter. Chicago Bear head coach Lovie Smith has challenged a ruling on the field of an incomplete pass. He thinks it was complete and for 12 yards to his tight end, Kellen Davis.
I'm not so sure we saw the ball even hit the ground. I think that's clear visual evidence that Kellen Davis did make the catch and maintain
After reviewing
control.
the play, it is a completed catch. The receiver got both hands underneath the ball and the ball did not touch the ground. The catch resulted in first down at the 38-yard line. Chicago is not charged a timeout.
See, Lovie Smith has had some success challenging calls, 4 of 6 on the year. And now maybe this is the opportunity for Caleb Haney to get it going after making that completion out on the edge, using his mobility, getting the ball to Kellen Davis. Let's see if he can get this offense going. Kansas City has really struggled on offense. They've now gone 31 consecutive possessions without an offensive touchdown, putting a load of the burden on their defense.
Matt Forte out for the rest of the day with a knee injury. 1st and 10 from the Kansas City 38, and this is Marion Barber. He gets as far as the 34-yard line and picks up 4 on the play. Also in there, Tyson Jackson along with McGraw, making the stop for Kansas City's defense.
Found it interesting what Brian Urlacher had to say about Marion Barber. He said when I played against him when he was in Dallas, he didn't like him. He said he thought he was a trash talker. He said, but he's been anything but. Urlacher said he's been a great teammate. As you see, he and Lance Briggs, they've embraced Marion Barber. They love the energy that he brings to this football team.
2nd down and 6. Barber again. Breaks a tackle by McGraw. Brought down in the defensive secondary by Kendrick Lewis. It's an 11-yard run to the 23.
How about that for energy? And look at the blocking over here as he comes backside to the right side of the screen. Look, they seal it here, and they pop that one in the alley for sure, getting Marion Barber to the 2nd level, and he seems to always be breaking tackles, Kevin.
Belcher got him from behind. They had the 44-yard punt return by Hester, which set up this pretty good field position. Barber again. Last week we told you against the Raiders, 10 carries, 63 yards. Picks up a yard here to the 21 of Kansas City.
Well, they got the heavy package going now. Tyler Klutz is in at the fullback position, and these 2 tight ends that they have, and Kellen Davis and Matt Spaeth, 6'7", both of them are. And it was a real strategic move by this coaching staff here in Chicago.
Hester in motion, 2nd down and 9. Haney. Hester. Knocked out of bounds by Javon Belcher. The catch and run takes him to the 13-yard line, picks up 9 right there.
Well, this is all Caleb Haney. He talked about using his mobility. Now watch him bait the defender into coming to him to free up Hester. See, there's the defender, comes to him. He just flip it over to Hester to create a 1st down. This is the mobility at work for Haney, as he's able to just bait the defender, Justin Houston, to go towards the quarterback, freeing up this receiver, helping them to get open at the 2nd level.
2 tight ends on 1st and 10. Barber. Not a lot right there. Craig, along with others, making the stop for the Chiefs. No gain on the play. Derek Johnson out of the linebacker at the 12.
Both coaches knew this would be a slugfest. Didn't expect a high-scoring game. You can see what they've done down inside the red zone. Chicago Bears, over 50% of the time, they're able to convert these opportunities into touchdowns.
Offensive coordinator for Lovie Smith is Mike Martz, now in his 2nd season with Chicago. 7th play of the drive, 2nd down and 10. Barber. Block up front, thrown by Chris Spencer inside the 5. Close to a 1st down, pickup of 9.
What you love about Marion Barber is 1, ball security. 2, you know he's going to be a tough tackle. Look at this, running through that arm tackle, can't get him down there. And then look at him finish off the run, dragging Kansas City Chiefs defenders for extra yards after the contact. and then his ability to secure the ball, where the Bears have been very good down inside the red zone. They win it because they don't turn the ball over when they get down here. They score touchdowns.
Aaron Johnson made the stop on that last one. Here's a 3rd and 1. Barber. There's a block by Kellen Davis. He had been stopped at the line of scrimmage, and the Chiefs followed it well. Belcher was there. McGraw. No gain on the play.
You mentioned Kellen Davis. He's a really good blocker. We saw him on the catch to create a first down, but at 6'7", 265 pounds, he's a good blocker. He can change the line of scrimmage, and so can Matt Spaeth, who goes 6'7", 260. So with those kind of tight ends, not only do you have better protection for your quarterback, Caleb Haney, you can really have a tremendous effect running the football. Now they got to watch the clock. Haney is telling them, either get me a play or call a timeout very quickly.
And the Chiefs are making mass substitutions on defense. Haney quickly assembles. 4th and 1. And a timeout taken by the Chiefs. With 9:53 to play and a crucial 4th and 1 as Crennel tries to plot his D. The timeout. Chicago has it 4th and 1 at the Kansas City 4.
You can see the Bears are 1 for 3 and converting 4th downs. They've already missed on 1 4th down conversion here. I'm not so sure I would go for the field goal here and take the points.
Another
with
timeout.
such good field position.
This time by Chicago as Caleb Haney takes a timeout after just having a conference on the sideline. Chiefs have 1 timeout remaining. Chicago 2 as they discuss on the field.
You know, Haney does have the opportunity to change the play at the line of scrimmage. Sometimes you can get a look from a defense, and with such a small Rolodex, because he is an inexperienced player, if you don't have an answer for what the defense gives you, Kevin, you're better off to call a timeout than go ahead and run a play that you don't feel can work with the defensive look that you're getting.
You may have seen Jay Cutler in that little confab there on the Chicago sideline. They split out Barber, 4th and 1.
He's wide open.
Barber wide open, a blown assignment, a flag is thrown.
You have to ask, was he up on the line of scrimmage?
That's Barber who caught it, but the flag is down. A 4-yard touchdown pass. As it stands, looks like it's going to be against the Chicago Bears.
He's got to cover the tackle.
Illegal formation.
Yep.
Offense. There were only 6 men on the line of scrimmage. 5-yard penalty. Replay. 4th down.
And they're going to go for 3 instead.
Watch at the top of the screen. Right there. But if you're Marion Barber, you got to be on the line of scrimmage to cover up that tackle. He was off the line of scrimmage, which means he was that other player in the backfield. That's what created the illegal formation. Wow, what a blown opportunity for an easy touchdown for the Bears.
Robbie Gould will be trying a 27-yard field goal. Whoops. Now, and we got some shoving after the play. Donahue is over there battling his way against Studebaker.
Both sides are a little bit chippy.
False start. Offense.
Got to be clear on whatever it is. Donahue.
False start. Offense. Number 68. 5-yard penalty. Still 4th down.
Frank Omeo on that offensive line for the Chicago Bears.
So 2 consecutive penalties take points off the board for the Chicago Bears.
So now it will be a 32-yard try by Gould. Against the Oakland Raiders last week, he had a 50 and a 53-yard field goal. Holding is Podlish. A snap from Chris Masson. He's taking the place of the injured Patrick Manley, who blew a knee. Got it. 32 yards away. A punt return by Hestra. 44 sets it up. Chiefs defense keeps him out of the end zone. Coming up from our CBS studios in New York, the Sprint Halftime Report with JP, Dan, Shannon Boomer, and Coach Cowher for scores, highlights, and news. That's coming up on the Sprint Halftime Report right here on CBS. What would concern me with the Chiefs is that guy went uncovered. Barber out to the side, and no one tailed him out there.
There was a mass of substitutions. They all ran into the huddle and then tried to scatter, and I don't even think they saw Marion Barber flanked out to the left side of the offense. Now, he was the 5th guy in the backfield. You're only allowed to have 4 men in the backfield. Because he wasn't on the line of scrimmage, he was deemed to be in the backfield, and that's what constitutes an illegal formation.
Chiefs have had it 5 times, 4 punts and a fumble. And that wind, you can see blowing that ball off the tee for Robbie Gould.
What did Todd Haley tell us when we met with him last night? He said, we've got to slug it out with the Chicago Bears. He knows this defense is plenty good, and he knows their special teams are capable of breaking the game wide open.
Bowman will hold it. McCluster is deep back for the Chiefs. On the fly from the 1. McCluster into a pile of Bears. DeSico makes the stop, the rookie free agent out of Pitt's 23-yard return.
Todd Haley knows this offense has to get it going. They've gone 31 consecutive possessions without scoring an offensive touchdown. It's the longest drought in the National Football League. 10 quarters of ineptitude. And he said that, hey, we've got to stop shooting ourselves in the foot. Let's take a look at Bill Muir, the offensive coordinator, who's calling in the plays from the sideline.
Hudson still taking the place of Littlejoe, who started the game at that left guard. It's first down and 10. Thomas Jones. And he was hit initially on the play by Pike. It is a gain of a yard.
You know, they had Kyle Orton come in as a backup. Thought he would be an option to get the offense going and try to break that streak. But in one play, Major Wright comes in and injures that index finger on the throwing hand of Kyle Orton, and he's out of the game. Now it all falls on Tyler Palko, even though he only had 60% of the snaps this week with the #1 offense.
Second down and 9. Dwayne Bowe, Pro Bowler a season ago, brought down from behind by Craig Steltz. It's a gain of 8. By the way, Steltz is kind of an interesting player this week in practice for the Bears. He is a left-handed thrower, and in the mock-up Kansas City offense, he was playing quarterback and throwing left-handed like they were going to see Palko throw today.
Yeah, he was playing Tyler Palko as the scout team quarterback to give the Bears a good look at what it would look like facing a left-handed quarterback. And now he has to go out and defend against Palko.
It's 3rd and 1 for Jones. And Donahue jumps on his back. Also out there with Nick Roach, no gain. Still shy by a yard. And the Chiefs will punt. 3 and out for Kansas City. Another punt for Kansas City.
And boy, has Israel Adonijah responded to the challenge by his head coach, Lovie Smith. Watch him come down the line. Big 71. There's Lance Briggs. Both guys riding the back of Thomas Jones, who felt like he could lunge forward, but when you've got over 400 pounds of humanity on your back, you tend to go down very quickly.
Hester at the 25, and Colquitt will punt. He returned the last one, 44 yards. He waves this off, and it bounces into the Bears bench at about the 36, 37-yard line. Colquitt is going to be an important guy today, keeping it away from Hester. 30-yard punt right there. Thursday on CBS. The next person these two heroes must protect is the one person who can blow their cover. Person of interest, new episode Thursday only on CBS. Well, we've had a weird game here. Forte is out, the top running back for the Bears with a knee injury. Kyle Orton comes in, a much anticipated entrance into the Kansas City offense. One play, looks like he dislocated the index finger of his passing hand. Had some penalties, a lot of punts. Here's a 1st and 10. And Barber right away from Dorsey into the secondary. Brought down on the play by Kendrick Lewis. Derek Johnson there too. 16-yard run to the Kansas City 49.
A healthy, energetic Marion Barber. Watch him break the tackle in the backfield. Right there. He's able to elude one defender. He gets to the second level. Nice little cut move. But his ability to break tackles in the backfield Despite having guys draped around his leg, Glenn Dorsey couldn't stop him. What a nice run from Barber.
It's 1st and 10. Barber bouncing and then brought down. I'll tell you what, this Derek Johnson is something else. Loss of a yard on the play.
He is playing well. And look at the possession chart. First 5 possessions for the Chicago Bears, and finally got something going on that last possession, set up by the punt return by Devin Hester. They go 9 plays, 36 yards to get the field goal. But remember, Kevin, they had a touchdown. It was waved off because Barber was not aligned in the proper position.
2nd down and 12.
180.
He's got his tight end, Kellen Davis. Got by McGraw. Brought down on the play by Houston. A catch and run of 28 to the Chiefs 23.
Everyone around the National Football League was stunned when this team traded Greg Olsen before the start of the season, but this is why. Kellen Davis gives them a much bigger target over the middle of the field, and why he's not as good as maybe yards after the catch as Greg Olsen was. We already showed you that he can block in protecting the passing game. He can block in the running game, and boy, can he catch it over the middle.
Piscatelli is in at one of the safety positions. Oh, there's a big-time hit on a 1st and 10. And a 2-yard loss on the play. Belcher coming through, an undrafted kid out of Maine.
Wow. Woo. He kissed Marion Barber, and it's not even Valentine's Day. Listen up.
Woo. Klutz couldn't get over there to knock him out. Yeah, that would jar your helmet free, wouldn't it? I'd unstrap your hat.
Todd Haley said they were going to slug it out. Well, that's slugging it out.
We'll try to figure out what's wrong with Kendrick Lewis. Piscatelli takes his place. He's back at the safety level with McGraw. 2nd down and 12. Oh, and he's got Earl Bennett wide open, who had the linebacker covering, and that was Houston. And Haney just missed a wide open 6.
You know, sometimes quarterbacks, they want to throw the receiver open, and you have to anticipate. And that's what he did. He anticipated, but boy, did he just put a little bit too much on it. You love the timing of the throw, and he knows he missed on an opportunity, but it was much better anticipation on the throw by Caleb Haney. He sensed that Bennett was about to separate, and he cut it loose.
Chiefs will go to 6 in the secondary, 3rd and 12. Hit. Down he goes. Justin Houston with his first career sack. The rookie out of Georgia. Loss of 9. Back to the 33.
Edwin Williams is trying to block, number 70. Take a look at this. He just comes right underneath, coming off Lewis as well. He gets right there immediately. Right in the ear hole of Caleb Haney. He never saw Houston coming.
Rising player, Justin Houston. Well, they're going to try for a field goal. Now, Robbie Gould is 5 of 5 on field goals of 50 or more at home. This is a 51-yard try, and it's a fake and a pooch.
They weren't set.
And a flag.
The offensive linemen weren't set. Israel Adonijah came running on late. Neither he or Matt Spaeth had been set when the ball was snapped.
Well, now, let's see what they'll do. I'm certain now they'll probably punt if it's
before
against
the
the
snap.
Bears.
Delay of game.
Yep.
Kicking team. 5-yard penalty. Still 4th down.
3rd penalty on Lovie Smith's special teams today.
You take a look. These guys here, hands not on the ground. They're still moving around when the ball's snapped.
That sack by Houston basically cost Chicago 3 more points.
Absolutely. It was just a really good play. Give Romeo Crennel a lot of credit for dialing up that play. They didn't pick it up and knew that Caleb Haney sensed that he was going to be blitzed on the play.
Arena's back to get this at the 10-yard line. To punt the ball will be Podlish. And he waves it off. And down by Stouts at about the 12 on a 26-yard punt. 4:16 to play in the first half here at Soldier Field, and that is the NFC playoff picture. Chicago has the tiebreaker over Detroit and Atlanta. So right now, Chicago is number 5 in the possible 6 playoff positions in the NFC.
You know, we talked about it before the game and how important this game is for Kansas City to remain hopeful for the playoffs. It's even probably bigger for the Chicago Bears because in that NFC North division, you got 3 teams in Green Bay, Detroit and Chicago who are contending for a playoff spot.
Falco, first down and 10. Peppers wraps up the running back, Jackie Battle. It's a loss of 1. Back to the 12.
Of course,
And
the AFC. Yeah, the AFC playoff picture where Houston, New England, and Baltimore are deadlocked at 8-3, and then you got the Oakland Raiders. Look at those teams. Pittsburgh, you know, is going to be hunting around the wild card spot along with Cincinnati, Denver, and Tim Tebow. They have a surge right now. Huge important game right now for the New York Jets playing in our nation's capital against the Washington Redskins.
The assignments are screwed up here. Second down and 11. Falco's got to rearrange his receivers. McCluster is in. And he's got the ball. Trying to get a bow block and not much there. Read beautifully by the Bears and coming through Toina. Matt Toina off that defensive line. And you can see Tillman, who is a little shaken up for Chicago. He didn't practice on Wednesday. He's battling a knee, but he starts today.
Now, what leadership that he provides on the back end of that secondary. And Lovie Smith said they wanted to get more athletic on the back end, and they've gotten it to guys like Major Wright, Chris Conte at the safety position.
It's 3rd and 8. Falco. Outside it goes, and Preston makes the grab. Urlacher brings him down, 25-yard line. It's a gain of 10 on 3rd and 8 and a Chiefs first down.
You can see Urlacher's not happy. Look at Preston. He lowers his shoulders, get his pad level down, and press the line of scrimmage. Look at that. Run right through 3 defenders to penetrate that first down line. And Urlacher is not happy. He wanted a 3 and out on that 3rd down play.
Nice catch by Preston, who was with Todd Haley as a receiver down in Arizona. There's a first down and 10. McCluster. No place to run, no place to hide right there. Donahue and his defensive line bring him around after a loss of 2 at about the 22. Timeout taken by Chicago. 1 remaining with 2:11 to play. Orton came in for a play. It looked like they had to pop his right index finger in on his passing hand, and he's still showing it right there. So he was in one play and quickly taken out.
Look at that, 5 possessions by the Kansas City Chiefs and 5 punts. Talked about the anemic offense for Kansas City, their inability to score touchdowns. It really does put a huge burden on the defense. You'll see how they hold up in the second half. That's Bill Muir, the offense coordinator, just trying to find something that works against this fast and furious and feisty defense for the Chicago Bears.
You had to wonder because Orton took about 40% of the snaps this week and Falco took 60%, and neither quarterback was probably fully prepared. Normally a starting quarterback takes about 80% of the snaps in practice. Second down and 12. And busting in there in front of the University of Houston is Jackie Battle. Picks up 3. Chicago takes a timeout out to the 24. 2:06 to play in the first half, so they take a break here. They'll also get a stoppage of play at the 2-minute warning.
Are you talking about the limited number of snaps for Tyler Palco going up against this Bears defense? Remember, their previous 2 games, they went up against more exotic defenses in the New England Patriots, the Pittsburgh Steelers, and Palco talked about it. Said this Chicago Bears defense, it's a very simple and sound look. They play that 4-3, cover 2, Tampa 2 defense where you know where they're going to be. And what did Brian Urlacher tell us? He said that, hey, we're very simple, but no one, not even Jim Zorn, the quarterback's coach, can prepare these players for the energy and how fast we play. So while they give simple looks, I think once you get on the field with these Chicago Bears defenders, you see the speed, effort, and energy they bring to the table, and that's where things become a lot more difficult.
Third Chicago player is working his way to the locker room. Major Wright, a starter in the secondary, has left the field. Steltz will take his place. 3rd and 9. And they go to Bo, who's got the first down. Oh, and he fumbled the ball. Tillman was the one to make the stop, but the Chiefs get it. Bo with the reception. A pickup of 14. This will constitute our 2-minute warning. The Chiefs with a little momentum at the 40 when we come back and down by 3. On this drive for the Kansas City Chiefs, Tyler Palko has gone 8 yards through the air to Preston, picking up 10. 3rd and 9.
55.
He went to Bo. He picked up 14 on a 3rd and 9. 3rd and 8 and 3rd and 9. The Chiefs converting both on this drive. Here is a 1st and 10. The Chiefs have one timeout. Cluster was in the backfield.
False start. Offense, number 67. 5-yard penalty. Still 1st down.
That's a starting right tackle, Barry Richardson.
Go back to the 3rd down, the reception to Dwayne Bowe. We talk about how fast and furious this defense for the Bears is. Take a look at Craig Stelz. He'll come in, bam, ball out. This is going to be a fumble. And luckily for Dwayne Bowe, he falls right back on top of it. Look at this. That ball's out there. Chicago Bears, Lovie Smith told us, hey, we're going to force turnovers. We want to get at least 3 per game.
1st down and 15. Jeremy Urban grabbed by Tillman outside. Urban makes only his 2nd catch of the season. He's to the 36. He picks up a yard.
They're such good tacklers. All 11 guys on this defense. It's a simple defense, but they play it so well because all 11 guys are where they're supposed to be, and they don't allow you yards after the catch or after contact.
2nd down and 14. Here comes Peppers and Bowe. He was hit by Briggs. He was whacked by Tillman. He works his way close to a 1st down at the 50-yard line. Peppers just tattooed Palko.
You know, watch. Just take a look at Tillman. Look at both of them. 33. Boom, both of them just came and delivered the lick simultaneously.
3rd and 1. Palko trying to lead his way into Adonijah, and it looks like he's got the 1st down. Tillman was there too. He got it. They'll move the chains. And the 1 timeout remaining for the Chiefs.
What did Palko say? This defense is so good, they're going to force you to be patient, hoping you make a mistake before they do.
Chiefs did deepest penetration today. 1st and 10. McCluster drops the ball. Almost picked off on the ricochet by Tim Jennings.
Wow, you get the sense that the Kansas City Chiefs are just dodging bullets here. We saw the near turnover on the fumble by Bowe. He recovered his own. You see the ball deflected off the hands of Dexter McCluster, nearly intercepted by Jennings. And if he gets it, maybe he's going to run for a touchdown, except for McCluster had already grabbed his leg. You got to secure the ball if you're the Chiefs.
Palko had it. 6 consecutive passes. 2nd down and 10. It's Jonathan Baldwin for the 1st time today. Wrapped up by Tillman. Shy of the 1st down. Picks up 6 to the 43.
If you're going to be a cornerback, Kevin, for this team, you've got to tackle an open field.
Well, coming up moments from now, the Sprint Halftime Report from our CBS studios in New York. JP, Dan, Shannon Boomer, and Coach Bill Cowher for the latest NFL scores and highlights. That's coming up in the Sprint Halftime Report from CBS. We have seen a lot of punts in the game. We've seen Matt Forte have to leave. We saw a one-play unveiling of Kyle Orton, who hurt his finger on a follow-through on the helmet of Major Wright. Looked like a dislocation that they popped back in, but questionable as to whether he'll return later today.
Big 3rd down play for young Tyler Palko.
3rd and 3. Slings it inside. What a catch made by Baldwin. But then he hit the ground. They wave it incomplete. Briggs on the coverage at the 35.
Oh, Palko is slinging this one into tight coverage. Watch Briggs knifes in. I thought he might even intercept it. I thought he had a better chance of catching it. Somehow Baldwin comes up with it. Look at that. Okay, he picks it up off the ground. That's how he comes up with it. I thought Briggs had an opportunity to get an interception.
Briggs is having a good season for Chicago. 4th down and 3. No timeouts. McCluster, Briggs, he got the 1st down. Down to the 37-yard line. That is a catch and run of 6, and they'll move the chains. And again, no timeouts for Kansas City. Spike it. Caleb Haney tried to spike one last week, and he went back too far, and they called grounding.
Yeah, you don't get to double clutch it. You know, everything for this offense Palco's been probably better in the no huddle than in just the regular tempo of the offense. It's really good when they speed it up.
Melton comes out. Okoye comes in. 15th play of the drive, 2nd down and 10. Going deep and no one home here. Baldwin and Preston were just a handful of yards apart. Coverage by Jennings and Steltz in the secondary for the Chicago Bears.
Well, if you're Palco, you can't get caught holding the ball because this pass rush is just too good. They pinched the pocket as well as any. And so he did the right thing, just trying to get it out of his hands, because Julius Peppers and the rest of that defensive line was on the hunt.
This would be about a 56-yard field goal if they were going to try it. They're going to go for it here with 2 seconds remaining. 3rd and 10. Bears have 3 guys defending in the end zone. And a little jump ball. Urlacher got a hand on it. It was caught. It's a touchdown! The Chiefs got it on a ricochet. And caught by McCluster.
Wow. They go 31 consecutive possessions without an offensive touchdown, and it takes a prayer and a Hail Mary to get a touchdown.
Urlacher had it, and McCluster on the rebound gets the ball. A 38-yard touchdown throw. How about that?
It looked like Urlacher was going to catch it, but look at the defender behind him. He bats it down right back to McCluster.
Every scoring play is reviewed, and that's what they will do right now.
Chris Conte knocks it out of the hands of Brian Urlacher into the hands of Dexter McCluster.
That might be Tyler Palco's first career touchdown pass.
Take a look at this, Kevin. Now there's Urlacher ready to catch it. Look at 47. Look, there you go. Chris Conte bats it out of the hands of Brian Urlacher into the waiting hands of Dexter McCluster. This is going to be a touchdown. Wow. Urlacher just falls back saying, what just happened?
McCluster got a touchdown pass last year, so this, if it is ruled a touchdown, would be his 2nd career. I guarantee you, he probably hasn't got a pass like this in that kind of situation.
After reviewing the play, the ruling on the field is confirmed. Touchdown.
Wow. That was something to watch.
Don't know if there was ever any doubt on this one. There's Urlacher ready to make the catch. There's Conte batting it out of his hands into the hands of Dexter McCluster as Craig Steltz tries to tug away at it.
They converted 3 third downs and a 4th down on that long drive. The extra point puts the Chiefs on top of the Chicago Bears 7-3, and the first offensive touchdown for the Chiefs in a long time. Well, they've had a hard time getting in. They'll take a chance at anything, and they threw up the Hail Mary, and it was answered. First half, 38-yard touchdown pass by Palco as it hit 0.
Yeah, and all I could think about on that last drive by the Kansas City Chiefs is that the Chicago Bears had a lot of opportunities to get a turnover there, and then they allow the Hail Mary for a touchdown at the end of the half. So a wasted opportunity for the Chicago Bears defensively.
We picked out a couple of plays. We'll take a look at them right now. The Droid Razor play presented by Motorola.
Well, how about this? And Tyler Palco was phenomenal on that drive, but none better than this Hail Mary throw. The 10 attempted interception by Brian Urlacher comes down in the hands. Touchdown pass for Dexter McCluster. His first career touchdown reception. And this is what you had going on in the first half. It was the first offensive touchdown for the Kansas City Chiefs on offense in 33 possessions, ending the longest active drought for offensive ineptitude in the National Football League. And Tyler Palco, his first career touchdown pass as well.
Through 30 minutes, those are some of the numbers here in Chicago. It was a good-looking drive by Palco, 8 of 12, 5 different receivers. Preston and Bo among the recipients, with the deflected ball in the end zone reeled in by McCluster. So Devin Hester is at the goal line Waiting the kickoff right now by Ryan Suckup, and it's a little chip shot, which Hester will retrieve at the 11. Our second half is underway. And Spaeth, lead block up the sideline, and he was knocked out of bounds on the play. Suckup was over there. Travis Daniels was there. A 23-yard return by number 23. Devin Hester, who wore that number, he told us on Friday, in high school. Those are the look. Set the numbers of the two quarterbacks this afternoon.
You know, one might say that Tyler Palko is now starting to feel better about himself, more comfortable avoiding the costly interceptions that have plagued him in his first two starts.
So Marion Barber is in. We've told you about the injury to Matt Forte in knee. He will not return today. And this is Caleb Haney with a couple of tight ends on 1st and 10. He gives the ball off to Barber, who was brought down on the play by Justin Houston, who had a first half sack. He picks up 4, and he's up to the 38.
I'm sure the Chicago Bears go in at halftime and look at the scoreboard and say, how are we losing this game by a score 7-3? Haney had thrown a touchdown pass over to Marion Barber. It had to be taken away, and it came off the board because they had a penalty on the play. And I'm sure Lovie Smith told his team, hey, keep grinding in the second half, but you got to take advantage of some opportunities to score.
Kendrick Lewis is still not back at the safety position for the Chiefs. Barber on 2nd down and 6 lost his footing and loses a yard. Back to about the 37. They replaced, and you can easily see the different color of grass we've got on the hash mark and then just inside and outside the numbers. This was replaced this week by the city.
They're right in the middle of the field, and Marion Barber has done a good job since replacing Matt Forte, who went out with a knee injury in the first quarter. Now as they face 3rd and long, 3rd and 7, going to have Caleb Haney to make a play.
Lewis has a right knee injury, may not return. Chicago 0-6 on 3rd downs this afternoon. Caleb Haney out of Colorado State. Out of the reach and incomplete, a former Cowboy wide receiver Sam Hurd. Coverage on the play by Javier Arenas. And the Bears have got to punt the ball in their first second half possession.
And Haney has missed on some throws where the receiver was wide open. I thought it right there on that play, he had Sam Hurd coming across the field, and he should have hit him. That ball sailed high on Caleb Haney. He's got to settle down and calm himself. He's getting some receivers open. He's got to make the throw.
This is the 5th punt on 7 Chicago Bear possessions this afternoon. Arenas is back at about the 15, and this is the punt by Adam Podlich via Jacksonville. Well, Bowman was down there again for the Chicago Bears and working his way out of bounds about the 20-yard line with a hit by Klutz. Is Arenas' 7-yard return. Flag has been thrown. It was against Kansas City. We just got the preliminary motion.
During the return, holding, receiving team, number 42. Half the distance to the goal. Timeout.
And that was on Sabby Piscatelli. So fresh off his first career touchdown pass, Palko back out there with a 7-3 lead. Chiefs have it 1st down and 10. Fade to McCluster. Here comes Peppers, and there goes Palko. Whipping it away. Peppers has been effective on defense, coming close to Palko. Incomplete pass, 2nd down and 10.
Julius Peppers coming off the right side. Look at just a smart play. He didn't go chasing the run down inside. He stayed outside, high in the backfield, and he just forces Palko to get rid of it. So you can tell Peppers is alert. We've seen him make some plays peeling off where he didn't just go chasing the quarterback and he wasn't lured out of position.
Ryan Littleton now begins the second half at that left guard. Here's a 2nd down and 10 for the Chiefs. Slant to Breston. Pick up a 5 on the play. Brought down by Tim Jennings. And they'll put the ball at the 12. Make it the 17-yard line.
You can get more of these slant plays out of this Kansas City Chiefs offense when they're facing that cover 2 look. They want to try to get right across the face of the cornerback, try to catch that slant between the corner and the safety. Hopefully you can break one tackle and you're off for the races.
They move the ball back to the 16. Major Wright is still not back in the secondary for the Bears. 3rd and 5.
What is it?
Throws it away. Everyone was covered. Good coverage by Tillman. Good coverage by Corey Graham. Flag is down.
They went man-to-man coverage on that one, Kevin. Normally you get a cover 2 out of this defense. They locked up.
Holding, defense, number 33.
Wow.
5-yard penalty, automatic first
Tillman.
down.
Tillman locked up in man-to-man coverage. Every now and then they'll come out of that cover 2 look. You see him in the slot working against Dwayne Bowe. Right there, they said that was, I don't know, Kevin. That's I didn't see him hold him, and I saw him jamming and bumping well within the 5 yards you're allowed to make contact with the wide receiver. Wow.
Never before for cornerbacks has footwork and speed meant so much because you got that short area to really bump the guy.
Absolutely, but they got to allow you to bump him in the 5 yards.
Thomas Jones in the backfield, 1st and 10. There goes a flag. We had a weird first half, and our second half is starting a little bit rocky.
False start. Offense, number 89. 5-yard penalty, still first down.
So Palko, who is undrafted, played at Pitt when he was being recruited by the University of Pittsburgh. Dan Marino met him somewhere along the recruiting process. He was considering Michigan and Wisconsin, other schools. But because Marino put a challenge to him, he decided to go to Pitt, 1st and 15. McCluster, lead block right there by Albert, and there goes McCluster. A foot race with Steltz, out of bounds he goes. And they give him 32 yards, stepping out of bounds at the Kansas City 48.
Yeah, you tackle Thomas Jones and Jackie Bennett. Now the speed of Dexter McCluster, and normally he'd take this one to the house. I'm impressed with Craig Steltz. Look at him. His speed to be able to get McCluster out of bounds before he hits that sideline and takes it into the end zone. Saved a touchdown on the play.
That's a career-long 32-yard run. Jones is in, 1st and 15. 1st and 10. And he's down to the 44-yard line. 8-yard run by Thomas Jones.
Steltz saves yet another potential touchdown. Look at this run by Jones. Break the arm tackle there, and if Steltz doesn't haul him in there, boy, he may be off to the races again. Right now, Kansas City heating it up.
2nd down and 2. Thomas Jones hit in there by John C. Davis. It's a gain of 3. He's to the 42. This up-tempo pace is something he said he learned from Drew Brees. Palko did. He learned the sped-up offense when he was with New Orleans as a backup quarterback.
Yeah, during his time with Drew Brees in New Orleans, Sean Payton's offense is one of the things you see Drew Brees doing consistently and challenging the defense, picking up the tempo, trying to catch them off balance to hit for a big play.
1st and 10. Fake to Jones. Here comes Davis out of the reach of Copper, who is covered on the play by Charles Tillman.
And if you're on the right side at that defensive end position for the Chicago Bears, and it's going to be Chauncey Davis, number 94, you got to hold back side because the left-handed quarterback is going to roll back to your side. Clearly he was prepared for it, and that's the practice you get when you're working against that left-handed quarterback. If you're the right defensive end, all rollouts and bootlegs are going to be to your side.
Coach Castle was the right-handed quarterback, and a lot of the offense tilted that way. When Palko comes in, taking the place of the injured Castle, then it's tilted the other way. And the timeout taken by the Chicago Bears. It's their first. Kansas City's on top on a Palko touchdown pass. Festive Chicago, all dressed up and ready for the holidays. Michigan Avenue last night was hopping. Gibson's was full. It's a great night in Chicago. 2nd down and 10 after the timeout by Chicago. Jackie Battle. Right into the hit by Chris Connie. It's a pickup of 5, and he bulldozes his way to the 37.
What a tackle by Conti. I can't tell you how impressed I am with the ability to tackle every member. Watch Conti coming up. Look at Battle bearing down on him. Much bigger man, but Conti hangs in there and lassos him to the ground. Excellent defensive play.
Five defensive backs, 3rd down and 5. He's got his guy, Preston. There's a block by Bowe, and Preston takes it with the catch and run of 20 to the 17. 1st and 10, Kansas City.
This is a bunch formation over to the right side. And look, they get caught on a pick. So they get screened off the intended coverage and getting it over to Breaston. So the defender, see how they just jam into one another, and you can see Conti trying to get out there to cover Breaston. He gets caught in traffic. That's what frees Breaston's up. Now they got 3 guys trying to block Julius Peppers to buy time for their quarterback.
Breaston has had some kind of afternoon. 4 catches, 3 on 3rd down. Jackie Battle. He works right into the tackle of Nick Roach. Had another solid game last week against the Oakland Raiders. It's a pickup of 3, and he's just inside the 15-yard line of the Bears.
And already 9 plays on this offensive possession. I think it's a really good drive by the Kansas City Chiefs. They've come out and asserted themselves on this possession here in the second half.
Psychologically, a big lift going to halftime with that touchdown pass.
And one of the reasons why they're able to run the ball. 5 runs, 4 pass plays on this possession.
2nd down and 6, Thomas Jones. And they take him, Tillman digging it out. Gain of 2 by the former Bear down to the Chicago 12.
We've seen all 3 running backs touch the ball on this possession. We've seen Thomas Jones rip one off to the second level. We've seen Jackie Battle power it inside. Then we've seen Dexter McCluster break one off for 30-plus yards, getting it outside. Bill Muir's made the adjustments. He believes they can run the ball right now. They're getting movement up front on this Chicago Bears defense.
Takes a quarterback some time to get used to his players. Takes an offensive coordinator time to get used to the quarterback.
And I think it takes some time for this offensive line to figure out how to block against this Bears defense.
On 3rd and 4, McCluster. And a good open field tackle by Steltz, but he gets the first down to the 5 of Chicago. Picks up 6 on 3rd and 4. 1st and goal, look at the Chiefs.
Look at the room that McCluster has. And look at this tackle. Steltz makes a phenomenal tackle. I can tell you right now, there's no one even close to him. And McCluster, if he's able to shake Steltz on that play, he's going to walk into the end zone. I can't talk enough about the tackling going on at the second level of this Bears defense.
1st and goal at the 5. Battle, Adonijah. Big time play by Israel Adonijah. Loss of 4, back to the 10.
Theirs is a bend, but don't break defense. We've seen them, but they've made the tackles. Look at Adonijah. First man who grabs, he wraps, and he gets the ball carrier to the ground. This Bears defense, they're very active. They're going to make you keep snapping it. Right now, we've seen 12 offensive plays on this drive by the Kansas City Chiefs.
Tight end Becht is the lead guy in the eye here. 2nd and goal at the 10. Palko to Breaston. And the coverage by Jennings.
Oh, Jennings just had great positioning on Steve Breaston. Jammed him, stayed on top of him, didn't allow the free release over to the right side of your screen. Palko put it where he needs to, always throwing it to the back pylon. See it sail over that back end pylon? That's where you want to hit the fade route. Breaston's unable to get there.
Third and goal at the 10. McCluster back in. What do you see?
Double slants.
McCluster blocked by Wigman. And he corkscrews down to about the 2. Picks up 7 on this drive. McCluster gained 7, 6, 32 earlier in the drive.
They fake the double slant and they go with the draw play to McCluster. But look at the tackling. It is going to be the tackling that prevents Kansas City from scoring a touchdown. Wow. Did they lay a lick on Dexter McCluster? He's got that extra protective mouthpiece. I think he needs it.
Right. Ryan Suckup, 15 straight, 21-yard try right here. Long drive by the Chiefs. 10-3 Kansas City with 6:16 to play in the 3rd. Palko through the air, 15-24. Timeout. We're back in Chicago. Solomon, the Chiefs have followed a 16-play end of the first half drive. A touchdown pass with a 15-play field goal drive. That's their lead right there. McCluster had a nice 32-yard run among his 45 yards gathered on that drive for the Chiefs.
If you're the Bears, though, you feel good about the way you tackled because I think the Chiefs should have had a touchdown as opposed to a field goal on the drive.
Little chip shot here again. Boy, they're really worried about either Knox, and that's going to go out of bounds, who was back that time, or Devin Hester. Knox was back that time to retrieve that kickoff. Out of bounds it goes.
Kicking team. The ball be placed at the 40-yard line. First down.
So Caleb Haney and his team down by 7 in his second career start. Will be out there in 6:16 to play in the third. Here's Avant the ball once in the second half. 3 plays punt. They got Khalil Bell in the backfield with Forte out. Bell with a nice block that opens up the pass to Knox. Picked off by Carr. First interception, 23-yard line. Haney throws the pick. He threw 3 last week in Oakland. Carr comes up with his 3rd of the year.
I got to tell you, Haney does a good job of getting the ball over the top, trusting Johnny Knox to contest for the ball. But Brandon Carr becomes the receiver. He adjusts to the ball better than Knox. Look at him go up and pluck the ball out of midair, taking the ball away from Knox. Look, he'll shove Knox past and then go up at the high point for the football. That's what the receivers are taught to do. Got to be honest with you, Brandon Carr did a better job of contesting for the ball than Johnny Knox, and that's why the pass from Haney is intercepted. I still believe it was a good throw.
1st and 10 for the Chiefs. Flag. False start.
False start. Offense, number 45. 5-yard penalty. Still first down.
The tight end Leonard Pope as we take you to our CBS studios and James Brown.
Tim Tebow.
Hey, Kevin, you know this voice, don't you? How about Tim Tebow? Completed 4 passes in the first half for 29 yards. Here's a pass in the second half for 21 yards and a touchdown. Minnesota leads 15-14.
Does that mean you and Kevin work together like
We do
Solomon?
on Monday nights.
All
Most
right.
times.
Kevin Harlan, Solomon Wilcots.
That's the horse we ride on Monday Night Football. Boomer Esiason 1st and 15. And a nice spinning move right there. Gain of 3 by Thomas Jones.
Kevin, we always say that the safety position is the last line of defense, and it's that for the Chicago Bears. You look at Craig Steltz coming up to make a touchdown-saving tackle, and that's Chris Conte doing it. Steltz does it again. Or Dexter McCluster's going to score a touchdown. That's the difference between a touchdown and a field goal. These 2 safeties, I haven't seen a 2 tackle like that since Doug Plank and Gary Fenson here in Chicago.
Some good names from the past. I like that. 2nd down and 12. Halco, one opposite to Bo. Coverage by Tillman.
Halco okay. He comes up limping. You can see the last 2 possessions by this offense, where this offense starting to get its groove. Touchdown and a field goal on their last 2 possessions.
Stanzi is inactive. Orton is out.
He runs into his own guy. Look at that. Thomas Jones trying to knife in underneath and cut off the blitzing defender. He takes a shot at his own quarterback.
5 in the secondary for the Chicago Bears. 3rd down and 12. McCluster. And from behind, Peppers brings him down. It's a gain of 3. He's to the 25, and the Chiefs have got a punt.
And McCluster makes a whole wave of defenders miss, and he gets by them, and here comes a second wave of defenders. They rally to the ball very quickly, as you could see Palco taking instructions from his coach, Todd Haley. Todd Haley talked to Bill Parcells earlier in the week, and what did Parcells tell him? He said that, hey, don't be too quick to attach the performance to the overall outcome for Tyler Palco.
Colquitt. He'll punt it out of bounds.
Way out of
bounds. Yes, it was a bad punt. It's going to give Chicago great beginning field position at their 42. 33-yard punt. Bears down by 7. Back in Chicago, got a serious sports fan on your list. CBSSports.com shop has officially licensed NFL gear and 3-day shipping on every order at shop.cbssports.com. Chiefs just punted. Leo Bell in the backfield. Last time out there, Haney threw an interception. Here's a 1st and 10 handoff to Bell, who is a player out of UCLA. It is a gain of 3. Dorsey at the bottom of the pile. He's out to the 45.
So we see Bell. We've seen Marion Barber. Don't forget, Matt Forte was knocked out of the game in the first quarter on a hit by Johnson. There it is, to the right knee. A wicked shot to the right knee of one of the best running backs in the National Football League. We hope that he's going to be okay, but he won't be back for today's game.
Kendrick Lewis is back in the secondary for the Chiefs after being out for a while. 2nd down and 7. Haney with time and on the money. Hester. Lewis was covering the catch to the 38. It's a pickup of 17, a Chicago 1st down.
From what I've seen from Caleb Haney, I think this is the right play call by Mike Martz. He's much more comfortable, Kevin, when he's out of the pocket, on the move, throwing this ball toward the boundary. Nice throw and catch from quarterback to Devin Hester. Look at good technique over the defender right into the hands of Hester. Nice throw, nice completion, nice catch.
1st and 10 to the Chiefs 38. Bell zipping down the middle among the tacklers. Derek Johnson, gain of 5 to the Kansas City 33.
Oh, this team had a 5-game winning streak before losing last week in Oakland. I asked Lovie Smith, so what's one of the reasons why you guys felt like you got your swagger back after that Monday night game in Detroit? He talks about this offensive line being healthy, the ability to stay together with all 5 guys playing the same positions for 5 or 6 consecutive weeks.
2nd down and 5. Bell, Klutz the lead block. Oh, that opens him up in the secondary. The stiff arm into Lewis. The tackle from behind by Belcher. A run at 26. 1st and goal, Chicago.
It helps to have a fullback. Watch Klutz. Watch him on the kick out here. Bam, right there. You cut it inside, get going downhill, press the line of scrimmage, and try to get to the end zone. Excellent blocking at the 2nd level. We talked about the offensive line. You throw Klutz in the middle of it, and I think you had a real clear picture of why this team is running the football so well.
They got Klutz off the Cleveland practice squad. 1st and goal, Haney. Bell. Dorsey, among others, bringing him down. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down and goal.
And boy, now you see what a good job the Bears did in keeping Kansas City out of the end zone on that previous possession. Caleb Haney and his offense take possession of the ball here, and they're getting some positive plays, knocking at the door, trying to get a touchdown to potentially tie the game up.
Two tight ends, 2nd down and goal. Here comes Tylen Jackson. Wow. Coming through, Tyson Jackson with a sack, his 1st of the year. 2nd Kansas City sack this season, this game, and he's back to the 17-yard line. A loss of 10.
Oh, well, take a look right in his face from the top of your screen, and you say, well, why can't you just get rid of the ball? Well, hey, you're in that tackle box. You can't just throw it away, and boy, he was right on top of him. Lance Lewis, the right tackle, was beaten immediately on the play by Tyson Jackson.
3rd career sack by Jackson. Here's a 3rd and goal at the 17. Coming in again. They got him. 2nd sack today for Justin Houston. He's got 2 sacks on the season. The rookie out of Georgia, both in this game. Loss of 8. And they blow a goal-to-go situation.
Look at that. Right around the end, just collapsed that pocket. They pushed it right in his face. Look, you can't step up in the pocket, and they pinched the corners between Justin Houston and Tamba Hali. There was nowhere to go. The only thing worse than that for a quarterback is to turn the ball over. So Haney was forced to eat it. Hopefully they remain in field goal position.
Robbie Gould, as you can see, has already knocked one in from 32 yards. They had it 1st and goal at the 7. They're going to have to settle for a 3-point try, which they do not get.
Wow.
So that was a disaster. Kansas City holds them out. And Houston with 2 sacks in the game and a big one moments ago. Now they plot on the sideline with a 7-point lead. Tomorrow on CBS, to save these children, the Hawaii Five-0 team will do anything. But first, they'll have to find them. Don't miss a new episode of Hawaii Five-0. That's tomorrow only on CBS. So Tyson Jackson with the sack, Houston with the sack, and the Cornell defense continues to tighten the screws on Chicago's offense.
I think you got to give a lot of credit to Romeo Cornell's defense. Sacks on 2 consecutive plays. It pushes Robbie Gould back, and he misses the field goal.
It's 1st and 10. They take over at the 31. Jackie Battle. Brought down by a couple. Stelz was there. Tillman was there. No gain on the play. 2nd down and 10.
Kevin, this is where the Chicago Bears defense, they're used to getting the turnovers. If they can't get the takeaways, it'll be tough for them to win the game.
The Chiefs have lost 4 consecutive games. Can they hold on? The Bears in the thick of the playoff race in the NFC. That's a look at our game. A Hail Mary pass in the end zone at the end of the first half. Put the Chiefs on top. Here's a 2nd and 10. First play of the 4th quarter. Going outside for Jonathan Baldwin. A little wide on the throw. The coverage by Tillman. Chiefs 3rd and 10.
Like Baldwin slipped trying to come out of the break and wasn't able to make it to the spot expected by the quarterback. Take a look at this, Kevin. In the AFC West, your Kansas City, that's a really good looking picture, helping to keep your playoff hopes alive if you can hang on for a win here in Chicago.
There's a 5 in the secondary. 3rd down and 10. Clusters in the backfield, and he's hit by Peppers. Peppers penetrates, knocks him down, loss of 3, back to the 27. The Chiefs have got a punt.
Probably the best investment the Bears have made on a defensive player in quite some time. He is worth it. Look at him just knife down inside. See, he's lined up at tackle right here. We said he was going to be lined up at different positions. He wins playing defensive tackle on that play as he comes in and makes the tackle on Dexter McCluster. Wow.
Colquitt to punt. Hester waving him off. Fair catch, and he lost the ball, then he reels it in. That's his 4th fumble on a punt return this season. Windy day here in Chicago, Soldier Field. Coming up on the Subway postgame show, JB, Dan, Shannon, Boomer, Coach Bill Cowher for scores, highlights, and news. That's all coming up on the Subway postgame show from our CBS studios in New York. Boy, the Bears have left a lot of points on the field. They started the Chiefs 43, lost it on downs, drove inside the Kansas City 5, settled for a field goal. Just had 1st and goal at the 7, missed a field goal. Here they go again, 1st and 10. Caleb Haney. Incomplete, and big Amon Gordon chasing him out of bounds.
And you talk about that previous drive by the Chicago Bear offense. They were cranking it out in the running game with Khalil Bell ripping it off, getting inside the 10, and then consecutive sacks. One by Tyson Jackson, the other by Justin Houston. The offense moves backwards. Robbie Gould sails wide left, and they squander an opportunity, leaving points on the field. Now Caleb Haney is looking for more in the 4th quarter.
Gordon taking the place of Jackson on this defensive series for the Chiefs. 2nd down and 10. Here they come. Greg is chasing Haney. Houston is there bringing him down. And once again, Amon Gordon. It's a gain of 3, and he's up to the 36.
Yeah, Haney's fighting for every inch. He knows here in the 2nd half they've got to get something going, because look what they've done with their 3 possessions. A punt, an interception, and a missed field goal. So they've had opportunities to move the ball, to do something with it, but in the 2nd half, they've squandered the opportunities. Also giving a lot of credit to the Kansas City Chiefs defense. Lovie Smith at some point has to be very concerned.
That was in 3rd down and 7. Bad snap from Garza. Here comes McGraw, and Gilberry gets him from behind. Running out of real estate, down goes Haney. 4th sack, Gilberry gets it. That's his 3rd of the season, and the Bears have got a punt.
Bad snap by Garza, and then you see McGraw. Now McGraw loses contain just because of the athleticism of Caleb Haney. He does trip him up a bit, but if you're Haney, there's not much more you can do with this, Kevin, because they poured in on him so quickly. All they could do was run for his life and try to get out of bounds with the football.
Arenas is back at the 30 for the Chiefs, and Adam Podlesh will let this fly inside his own 15-yard line. Wind is at his back. Arenas number 3 in punt returns in the NFL. Making a couple tackles and brought down, and staying with it was Corey Graham. Very good special teams player for the Chicago Bears. 53-yard punt. Here comes Palko and the Chiefs. Last 2 possessions for the Chiefs, 3 and out. Here they got it first down and 10 after the Chicago punt to the 29-yard line. Lovie Smith has got a lot on his mind. His quarterback is perhaps not producing the kind of numbers he'd like, and there's a guy out there, Chicago native Donovan McNabb. First down and 10. This is McCluster, who is brought down by linebacker Nick Roach. Got him around the ankles, gain of 7, and he's up to the 36.
Yeah, just the man on the street here in Chicago. Everyone wondering with the loss of Jake Cutler and that thumb injury, and Haney struggling, going 6 of 15 at this point in the game. With Donovan McNabb out there, Chicago native, might he be coming back? I ask you, go poll the people in Washington and ask, what did Donovan McNabb do when he had an opportunity there? Go talk to the people in Minneapolis, and what did he do when he was with the Vikings? How is he going to just walk in right now, 11, 12 weeks into the season, and jumpstart the Chicago Bears offense? I think it's highly unlikely.
They did sign Josh McCown, a 9-year veteran, last week. Second down and 3. Thomas Jones. Becht with a big-time block, and a flag is thrown. The tight end was over there blocking. Let's see what that flag is all about. Gain of 10 as it stands right now. We have 11:37 to play in the 4th.
Holding. Offense, number 67. 10-yard penalty. Replay, second down.
That's the right tackle, Barry Richardson. Well, tonight on 60 Minutes, Michael Bublé got has the number one Christmas album in the country, and an inspiring success story to go along with it. To get a preview right now, simply call *60. That's *60 from your mobile phone.
Everywhere we go, everyone compliments Kevin Harlan on those great pipes. But Michael Bublé, tremendous pipes. he's in your neighborhood there, partner.
His pipes are pretty good. Second down, 13. Tyler Palko from the Pittsburgh area. And wide, uncatchable for Bo Tillman there, and scraping himself off the surface of Soldier Field is Palko.
Corey Graham, number 21. They're getting hits on the quarterback here. That'll force a high throw. You might even feel that one on the next throw. He hit him so hard.
Yeah, you might.
Huge third down play. And if Palko isn't careful, because he's done a good job of protecting the ball here for Todd Haley, he's not careful on this 3rd and 13. Look for the Bears to try to jump in front of it and steal one here.
Look for Bo. He'll be at the bottom of your screen. He's been shut out in this second half. 3rd and 13. They need the 39. He double clutches. There is a catch by Preston. Good looking hit on the play by Graham. It's a gain of 7. They're shy of the first down. 3 and out for the 3rd consecutive time for the Kansas City offense.
Yeah, consecutive plays. Corey Graham's making a play. They allow the underneath catch, but we talked about their ability to tackle. Look at that. Wow. Preston goes down hard, and now you got to beware.
Yes, I was just going to say,
Colquitt has forced the most fair catches of any punter in the NFL. You need one here.
That's what he's kind of limited Hester to this afternoon. Devin again waving his arms. And at the 31-yard line, 35-yard punt. Fair caught. 10:34 with the Bears down by 7. Well, the Bears in the second half, 14 plays, 28 yards, a turnover, and a missed field goal.
They need a whole lot more from this offense.
Marion Barber back in. And Dorsey got him. Gordon got him. Gain of 3. They'll put him at the 35.
Caleb Haney, 6 of 15, 70 yards. Had some opportunities. See the missed throw to Johnny Knox. Had a shot down the field where you've got to be able to connect on this one to Earl Bennett. Would have been a touchdown, and then on a 3rd down play, he overshoots Sam Hurd, who would have had a first down, and then came out and threw an interception as he gets picked off in the second half by Brandon Carr.
2nd down and 7, and they string out Barber with another terrific defensive play by Justin Houston. It's a loss of 3. Back to the 32. Houston, the rookie out of Georgia. We've mentioned him a couple times already.
And remember, Caleb Haney does not have Matt Forte in today's game. He was knocked out in the first quarter. So when you're a quarterback and you have certain reliable weapons like a Matt Forte, who's their leading rusher and receiver, I think it handicaps a young, inexperienced quarterback like Caleb Hanie even more.
There's been a lot of criticism aimed at general manager Scott Pioli about lack of his draft choices making an imprint. Today Houston has 3rd and 10. Ball is loose. Vacuumed in by Hanie. Being chased by Bailey, another rookie, and out of bounds he goes. Hit by Johnson, out of play at the 32. That's a 4-yard pickup. And they got a punt again. Another 3 and out for the Chicago Bears.
This offense for the Chicago Bears under Caleb Hanie today, they are 0 for 10 now on 3rd down plays. They have yet to convert a 3rd down into a 1st down in 10 tries.
Well, that's what I'm asking about the quarterback. They don't think Cutler's going to come back. He's had the surgery. He's got pins and staples inside his thumb. Hanie is struggling. 3 interceptions last week in a losing cause at Oakland. With the punt here coming from Podlish and Javier Arenas with a gray sky staring at the 17. Brought down. They just brought this kid, Brian Ewu, who was injured and lost for the season. And they got DeCiso and Trahan down there covering for the Bears. Chiefs have brought in their rookie guard, Rodney Hudson, taking the place of Lilja now. They've been going back and forth all day. Battle in the backfield, 1st and 10. Jackie Battle is running up the middle. I want to correct something I just said. Dom DeCicco has been up and playing special teams throughout the year. Patrick Trahan, who was in on that previous tackle, was the one taking the place of Brian Ewu, who is a very important special teams player for the Chicago Bears. Battle picks up 3 right there. He takes Ewu's place on the roster. The 22-yard line, it'll be 2nd down and 7.
Now it's that critical stage of the game. If you're Tyler Palko, you know points come at a premium, hard to come by for the Chicago Bears offense. If you can lead your team down the field, get more points on the board, it goes a long way.
Cluster in the backfield, 2nd down and 7. Wrapped up by Henry Melton. That's a gain of a yard. Melton's got a sack earlier in the game. Next Saturday, CBS Sports presents one of the most storied and illustrious spectacles in all of sports. All guts, all grit, and all glory. It's the Army-Navy game presented by USAA. It all begins with college football today, 2 o'clock Eastern time on CBS. 1 o'clock Central. 3rd down and 6. Chiefs have had 3 consecutive 3 and outs. Good time here outside. McCluster read beautifully by Chris Conte. He plays at the safety, but he's got corner skills. He limits him to a gain of a yard. And the Chiefs have got a punt.
And he tackles like a vice grip. When he wraps you up, you go down. Look at this. What a tackle. You got to love the way they play defense here in Chicago. Todd Haley. You know, almost know what happened to Sean Payton. You got to be careful for those coaches over there on the sideline.
Colquitt with another punt. Nestor awaits it inside the 35. Again, waving his arms and waving them off. And down, Jackie Battle, who basically made his money here in the NFL on special teams. 34-yard punt, 41-yard line. Here comes Hanie. And here comes a look at the NFC playoff picture. The Chicago Bears have the tiebreaker with both Atlanta and Detroit tied at 7-4.
Yeah, but they're locked in a 3-way tie for that number 2 and final wild card spot. Remember, this team was 7-3 after the San Diego Charger game, the game where Jay Cutler was injured and presumably lost for the remainder of the season. So, you know, Caleb Hanie's got to pick it up to help this team stay in playoff contention.
Chiefs have 6 in the secondary. This is Hester. Working on Brandon Flowers, close to a 1st down, near midfield, picks up 9 on the play.
And if you're the Kansas City Chiefs, a win here would help your cause to stay in the hunt. Right now, Oakland appears they're losing big time in Miami. They could fall to 7-5. And so you stay right in the race. Denver right now losing in their game against the Minnesota Vikings. So Todd Haley knows this is an all-important game with a 4-7 record to try to come away with a win here.
Chargers will play tomorrow night on Monday night in Jacksonville. 2nd down and 1. And Earl Bennett. And pushed out of bounds by John McGraw. 6-yard pickup. to the 45 of the Chiefs. That is a first down. Bennett's first reception today.
Caleb Haney is picking it up, Kevin. His last 2 throws have come from the pocket. And look at this throw. With pressure closing in around him, that pocket shrinking, he delivers a strike over there to Earl Bennett. That ball comes out, maybe a little high and inside if McGraw's got a little speed. Maybe he closes on that one, but nice catch and tiptoe on the sideline from Bennett.
That was our first fourth quarter first down today for either team. 1st and 10. Good time for Haney. Right there by Johnny Knox. Brought down by Belcher. 30-yard line. 15-yard pickup. Now Haney is beginning to zero in.
This is the Haney that everyone talked about, that you saw come in against the Green Bay Packers in the NFC Championship game. Remember, they really struggled. Todd Collins came in initially for Jay Cutler. Collins was pulled out of the game, and Haney came in and made it a game, throwing for 2 touchdown passes in that game.
They look pretty good. It's down in 10. Bell in the backfield. Knox again. Hit by Kendrick Lewis. That's a 17-yard pickup.
I'll tell you, this Caleb Haney, we saw this in the second half last week against the Oakland Raiders after throwing 3 interceptions in the first half of that game. He had 2 touchdown passes in the second half, made it a contest, played well. That's why they were confident that he would play well today. And while he started slow, he appears to be heating up.
Knox had 145 receiving yards a week ago in Oakland. Look good. Here's a 1st and 10. With a couple of tight ends for Haney. Roy Williams bobbled loose, reeled in. McGraw got the ball. It's an interception on a deflection. Second consecutive week, Haney has thrown a red zone interception.
You got to make that catch, and you got to hold on to it if you're Roy Williams. You cannot allow that ball to continue to stay in the air, because most defenses are going to intercept all tips and overthrows. McGraw does it there. Every day you work on the tip drill. If that ball comes off the hands of the intended receiver, as it does there from Roy Williams, it is a gift, because Lewis nearly had it, Johnson nearly had it, and McGraw comes away with it. That ball changed hands between 4 different players, 1 Chicago Bear and 3 defenders for the Chiefs, come up with a crucial and critical interception.
McGraw with his 3rd interception this season for the Chiefs. First down and 10 from the 20 for Kansas City, and Thomas Jones. Roach, Steltz were there. Gain of a yard to the 21. Chiefs have had 4 consecutive 3-and-outs.
You just saw Caleb Haney come over to Roy Williams, getting a little pat, saying, "I'm going to come back to you." I thought Haney was getting in rhythm there, Kevin. He was throwing the ball with great confidence. Was he slamming the ball into tight spaces in a crowd of defensive players? Absolutely. But he was getting the ball to his receivers. You could see he's not happy with that one, but the receiver has to catch the ball.
2nd down 9. Here's Jackie Battle, and he is knocked down behind the line of scrimmage. A loss in the play of 2. Urlacher was there. Lance Briggs was there. And Chicago has a single timeout now remaining.
There were 2 opportunities for Haney to have touchdown passes. Remember, he threw one in the first half to his running back, Marion Barber. It was called off because Barber was illegally aligned. Now he hits one over the middle to Roy Williams, who looks like he's going to go in for a touchdown. He allows the ball to be tipped up in midair. It comes away an interception. So maybe we're looking at Caleb Haney a little bit differently right now. If those plays turned out different, he made the throws. His teammate, they made the mistake, they made the error, and so now his numbers and the outcome of this game looks a lot different.
How big have deflections been in this game before we went to halftime? And Haney right here, a deflected ball, a bobbled ball off of Lewis and reeled in by McGraw. And of course, at the end of the first half, a Hail Mary throw by Palco off the fingertips, ricocheting off the palms of Ryan Urlacher and picked up by McCluster. I mean, that has been a big deal in this game. Watch out for Preston here on 3rd and 11. Dropped. Bo, incomplete.
Wow, Bo's been battling. He had 7 catches that Monday night game, or I should say the Sunday night game against the Pittsburgh Steelers. But look, he drops this one. And we talked with his coach, Todd Haley about that play at the end of the game. Remember, Chris Collinsworth talked about that Bo didn't even really go up for the ball, and he's got to contest for the ball, but he's got to take better care of it when the quarterback gives him an opportunity.
Let's see what Hester does if he gets this Colquitt punt. Flag. Long punt. Hester will just let it roll. Like we said, a flag was thrown to the 11-yard line. And Colquitt gets off. It's a 69-yard punt. Longest of the day. And he's been so concerned, as Todd Haley told us last night, about how they were going to handle Hester. And his punting has been important because there's been a lot of fair catches and wave-offs by Hester.
Illegal motion. Kicking team, number 30. 5-yard penalty. Replay, 4th down.
Well, Todd Haley said, I don't want to be the guy. When I asked him, how do you play it with Devin Hester? You kick it to him. He said, oh, I don't want to be the guy that regrets kicking the ball to Devin Hester. He said the ones when he's hit the home run, it's usually on a miss kick when you're trying to kick it out of bounds and it ends up going down the middle of the field. The others are when you kick the 50-yard variety punt, when you out-kick the coverage, as that one was. Had Hester been able to field it, maybe he has a chance to return it. But Haley says, I don't want to be that guy. Shades of Tom Coughlin last year when his punter hit a bad one.
Let's watch the hidden yards here. That 69-yard punt would have put him at the 11. But the penalty makes him punt it once again. Getting off another. Not nearly as long as you can see. Now Hester from the 35. Copper was there, knocking off one, and then brought down on the play by reserve defensive back Rashard Langford. Loses a yard, 51-yard punt, but they get it at the 30 as opposed to the 11. And next Sunday, the NFL on CBS tracks the playoff push with doubleheader games. First, the Patriots take on the Redskins. Some of you will see the Chiefs and Jets. Then the Raiders travel to Lambeau to play undefeated Green Bay. Check local listings, beginning with the NFL Today, presented by Southwest Airlines.
How tough is it on the Oakland Raiders this week in Miami? They'll go back to the West Coast and then travel to Green Bay to play next week.
Very hard. Reminds me of week 1 when they had to play on Monday in Denver, go back to Oakland, then go week 2 to Buffalo. 19 hidden yards right there. 1st and 10 for Haney. Nice catch by Johnny Knox. Working across the way on Sammy Piscatelli. It's a 17-yard pickup. They spot the ball at the Chicago 47-yard line.
This is a whole different Caleb Haney we're seeing here in the 4th quarter. Look at this throw. And a nice catch from Johnny Knox. But Haney is throwing the ball with better anticipation, greater accuracy, and he's making these plays inside the pocket.
Carr was the one to usher him out of bounds. Piscatelli was in the area, and here we go with the 1st and 10. Chicago with 1 timeout remaining and the 2-minute warning. Oh, he's hit by Derek Johnson. They tried to tomahawk that ball free. It was held onto by Haney. It's the 5th sack by the Kansas City Chiefs. The ball back at the 44. They lose 3.
Yeah, and losing time on the clock, but I thought this ball was coming out. But good carriage. Look, he clutches it with 2 hands. And because he has good ball carriage and having it high and tight with 2 hands, Johnson wasn't able to get the ball out, although he tried.
2nd down and 13. Chiefs are in last place in the NFL coming into today in sacks. They only had 13. Today they got 5. Haney, here comes the blitz again. Johnson drills him. And they'll call that an incomplete pass. It'll be 3rd and 13, 2:06 to play.
Well, the offensive line just not picking up the pressure. You see 56 wrapping around, running the stunt with Tamba Hali, who they bring inside, and you see Johnson comes scot-free. And as the arm was going forward, Haney gets rid of it. The blitzing pressure has gotten to Haney all day. They've sacked him 6 times today and clearly had a sack there.
Yeah, they've got 6 sacks. Like we said, the Chiefs had 13 coming into today. 3rd and 13. Timeout, Kansas City.
Timeout, Kansas City.
That's their first.
This will be a 30-second timeout.
Chiefs will have 2 left. Romeo Crennel has done a nice job going at this Chicago offense with his Chiefs defense this afternoon.
Well, you said it. They came into today's game with only 13 sacks. Fewest in the National Football League. 7. More than half of those 13 sacks went to Tamba Hali. And now they've had a variety of guys come free. He's dialing up a number of blitzes, taking advantage of an offensive line that had struggled in the first half of the season. But since that game, that Monday night game in Detroit, they've been much better at protecting the quarterback, but not today.
Bears have not gotten a third down conversion today. 0 of 10. 3rd and 13. They need the Chiefs 43. Down he goes. Tamba Hali. And once again, Houston. Loss of 4. Sack number 7. That has dictated the game. We're at the 2-minute warning. Wow. Two-minute warning, 4th and 17. Chicago's going to go for it, obviously. They need the Chiefs 43. They do have one timeout.
Think they're going to come after the quarterback on this one?
They've gotten to him 7 times today. Rolling here, Lewis a block, Haney, and was it scooped in by Bennett? One official waves him off and said no, he didn't catch the ball. Yardage, had he brought it in, scooped it in, would have been good enough for a first down. At the Chiefs 35, Bennett could not get it.
Oh, they have a delayed blitz. They come late. The ball's thrown early. Great anticipation. That ball's going to hit the ground, Kevin.
Yep.
He hit it, but he did control it. And if you're the Bears, do you even want to challenge this one? And you can't challenge it now because it's under 2 minutes. The officials would have to take a look at it. But the booth has already said that it's incomplete.
The Bears have a single timeout. Chiefs will have it at the Chicago 40-yard line.
Take a look at it one more time. Does he trap it? Ball hit his hands, and there it is, hitting the ground. He pulls it into his belly. Incompletion.
First down and 10. Thomas Jones. Nice play that time. Coming up from the secondary was Jennings and a loss of 2. Back to the 42-yard line. So Chicago's out of timeouts. And Todd Haley and his coaching staff are right now circling over a win here in Chicago, which would stop a 4-game losing streak. Coming up on the Subway postgame show, join JB, Dan, Shannon Boomer, and Coach Bill Cowher for all the latest NFL scores, news, and highlights. That's coming up on the Subway postgame show from New York. It'll be 2nd down and 12. Bears lost last week, and right now they may be losing their 2nd consecutive game. And they've lost Matt Forte early in the game.
And they've got to be kicking themselves about that final play of the first half, Kevin.
Thomas Jones slashing his way 3 to the 39, cutting through, and the Bears cannot stop the clock. Well, as we continue on here, and Urlacher and the Bear defense now getting ready for a 3rd and 9 from Palco and Kansas City's offense.
Now, who would have thought it? You know, the Bears have had problems in the past protecting the quarterback. They since have shored that up under Mike Tice, and they've really been able to max protect and done a much better job of protecting the quarterback. They come in and they play Kansas City, the team with the fewest sacks in the NFL, and give up 7 of them. They allow Haney to go down 7 times after being sacked today.
13 coming in today, so they've really upped their total. 3rd and 9, Thomas Jones. He got away from the first attempted tackle of Lance Briggs. It's a loss of 4, and he's brought down at the 43. But the key is, he stayed in bounds. So the clock continues to tick.
Definitely just smart play by Thomas Jones. He's aware, alert, understanding the situation, understanding the moment.
4th and 13 Chiefs will let this clock wind down. And we'll have, 12 seconds or so when they may call a timeout, maybe 13. Thomas Jones coming back and playing against his old team, the Chicago Bears, where he played from 04 through 06. And 13 seconds left. Chiefs take a timeout. So the Chiefs have one timeout remaining. And after today, they will go back home, practice all week, then fly to New York and take on the Jets next week on CBS.
What do you think Todd Haley is saying to his punter?
Don't
Dustin
punt it.
Colquitt. Whatever you do, you keep that ball away from number 23.
I'm sure that punt block will be on too by Chicago.
13 seconds left. This would be their one last shot. You don't want him returning this punt.
Gets it off. And almost had enough English to stay in bounds. 43-yard punt by Colquitt. 6 seconds to play. The Bears will have it first and 10 at their 20-yard line.
Well, you can get a Hail Mary. We know it can be done because it's the way that Kansas City was able to get on the scoreboard before the end of the first half.
I think every available defensive back is out there for the Chiefs. I count 7 of them. And they also put Derek Johnson back there too. He would be the 8th player. Caleb Haney. Winding up, and that's picked up by Javier Arenas. It's the 3rd turnover for Chicago, and the Bears have lost their 2nd straight, and the Chiefs have stopped a 4-game losing streak. A touchdown pass by Palko, the first of his career, and a first win for him. Chiefs are still alive, barely, but they are breathing. For Solomon Wilcots, Kevin Harlan coming up, the Subway postgame show from New York.